think they changed
I bought it. I bought it. Good move. Very good move. Very good move.
Let's see it. And we pulled up.
Did I miss that?
Yeah, you're.
No, you heard the original one, and then it came back on.
And then that's when you bought.
I bought. Yeah, it's probably the best chart in crypto.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Shido Global, episode 14. Arno will be with us here at some point this evening, so we'll kick off and get this AMA underway while we are waiting for Arno. So, on that notation, tonight's broadcast is going to be a lot about education, information, being clear of what you hold, understanding what we've went through this week. This is expected, right? These are the price swings that you've got to prepare yourself for. Yeah, our charts took a little bit of a beating at zero tax, but you know what? The amount of people we got out that just aren't going to be here at the end was exactly what needed to happen. Because let's be honest and be clear, what you don't want to have happen is go to a $1, $2, $3 billion market cap, zero tax, and have all these people who've been waiting this entire time to empty their bag, the impatient ones, the ones that aren't going to be here for the generational wealth, right? You want them out early. You want to get them out. You want to give an opportunity to broaden that to new holders, new whales to enter the ecosystem and to hold the coin. And that's exactly what Bjorn and the dev team executed over this last weekend, flawlessly. We'll talk more about that. I can attest personally, I've moved up in the charts, and then I got beat back down in the charts because people came in and they took advantage of zero tax, right? You had people that took advantage of getting out, and you had people that took advantage of getting in. And that is a beautiful thing to see. Before we get started, we'll go through comments here. Shadow Queen says, let's go. Sub Sailor, what's up, man? Hello, Shido Fam. Hello, Valhalla and Arno. Let's go to the moon on the Shido shuttle. Absolutely. Yes, if you can, hit the like and subscribe button. Push it out there in the YouTube algorithm, not for me, not for this channel, but for the other viewers and potential holders that will run across Shadow on YouTube. Let's make sure the information gets in their hands. That is right, Monty. The Bulls are coming. The Bulls are coming. Tomorrow is absolutely a huge day. We're going to talk a lot about that tonight. We have the FOMC meeting. We have the Fed decision coming on Wednesday. We have a lot of stuff. I keep hearing the word, the phrase, it's D-Day out there for crypto. We'll talk about that. It's not D-Day. I actually truly honestly believe it is going to be the beginning of a full-on recovery, and that we are closer than ever to the start of the bull run. And we're going to talk a lot about that tonight. That's why the title of tonight's AMA is Are the Bulls Running? Right? We're going to look at some facts. We're going to look at some information. We're going to look at what everyone's predicting from FOMC and Jerome Powell. And we're going to get an idea of what's going to happen on Wednesday morning. Because Wednesday morning, don't let anyone kid you, Wednesday is going to be a very volatile day. We are in for a very volatile run, but it's going to be good at the end of it. What's up, AD? All right, and Arno will be with us at some point this evening. Might be having some phone issues or internet issues, but we'll get him in as soon as he does pop in. With that being said, we're going to jump right into it. So first things first, we're going to go over to CoinMarketCap, take a look at the market in general. Right now, the global crypto market is sitting at a $1.05 trillion market cap. So we are holding over a $1 trillion market cap. We are up 1.4% over the last day. We take a look here at Bitcoin, $23,116 and holding. And that's very important because a lot of you heard me in chat and I kept talking about the Golden Cross. February 7th is a very, very important day for Bitcoin. It's a very important day for this market. And we're literally, what? And we're 7 days out. As today, we're 7 days out for one of the most pivotal moments since the start of the bear market. This could indicate the end of the bear market, the beginning of the bull run. February 7th is a day that you guys are not going to want to miss watching the charts, because I think some pretty magical stuff is going to happen. And we'll talk more about that. Ethereum, 1586. Tether is holding pegged at $1. USD coin is holding pegged at $1. That is important to watch. If your stable coins are not pegged exactly at $1, that usually indicates there's a lot of volatility in the market. Your two stable coins are tethered right at $1. BNB is pumping to 312.75 tonight. Overall, the market is looking pretty good. Binance USD also pegged BUSD exactly at $1. So with that being said, we're going to jump in here. We're going to take a look at our charts. Right now on the BNB side, we're looking, what you guys see here on screen is the 1 month chart. And just to kind of cool some people down, calm some people down from the anxiety of what's happened over this weekend, guys, understand that that 0% tax, there was a reason behind that. If you guys are looking right now on BNB, we're holding at 301446. We are ridiculously oversold. BNB lost about 30% over that weekend. Now, that is going to set the stage for a massive recovery and an explosion on the Shido charts with the AMA tour that Bjorn has kicked off. That's already underway. We had a Venom AMA today. We had Caesar's calls yesterday, but we had some technical issues. So the Caesar's call AMA is pushed back till Thursday. So Thursday is going to be a very bullish day. We're going to have two back-to-back AMAs. We're going to have Bjorn's bright and early in the morning, and then Caesar calls later that evening. So that's fantastic. It's just more exposure. It's more opportunity to get more eyes on Shido. So for those of you on the BNB chain right now, you're holding at 301446. You're looking fantastic. I keep hearing a lot of people in chat talking about how the Ethereum chain is about to add a 0. And we'll talk about that too. But hold on a second. I need to make sure I have. Hang on one moment, guys. Sorry, because I have something I want to share with everybody, and I just want to make sure I have the right photo. So now I do. Anyways, back to the Ethereum chart. Everyone is saying that, oh no, Ethereum is about to add a 0. Guys, do you understand that if the Ethereum for a brief moment dipped to the 401 level, how much Shido you would be able to acquire? These are not moments to be fearful. These are moments to be educated. Because if, and I say if, the Ethereum chain was to dip to 409 level, if it dipped to that, you would be able to acquire a ridiculous amount of Shido. Right now, $1,583 is going to get you 13.88 million. That would essentially, that would almost double. So that might be your one last opportunity to fill up your Ethereum bag. If you're wanting to get into the top 50, the top 100, the top 200 holders of this project, and you've been priced out at this point because Shido is rising in price, this could be an opportunity. One last opportunity, and I would be ready to take advantage of it. There is a potential with tomorrow's market volatility. There is a potential to see this. Now, do I think that Shido is going to gain another 0? I don't think it's going to. I think there is too much sentiment in the market, and there's too much sentiment in the project to let it dip that low. It might for a brief second, and you better have your fingers on the trigger and be ready. If it dips to the 409 level, you're going to have milliseconds to get your transaction in. So you better have your Ethereum loaded, you better have the contract in place, and you better be ready if it happens. Ryan here says the daily ETH chart is printing bullish divergence on the RSI. See, that's exactly what I'm referring to. We are ridiculously overbought. Being the fact that we are so ridiculous, or not overbought, oversold. I'm sorry, it's been a long night. We are ridiculously oversold. being that we are so ridiculously oversold on the chart, I don't think it's going to get any lower than this. There's a possibility with the volatility, it could be the perfect storm, but I don't think it's going to happen. Have your Ethereum ready just in case. Outside of that, though, if you look at the 1 month chart, you guys have got to appreciate this 1 month chart, right? You know, everyone is saying, "Oh my gosh, the world is falling around us." It's really not. Look at this exponential growth pattern on the 1 month chart. If we take this down to the 1 day chart, okay, yeah, you can say we're on a little bit of a downward trend, right? You're talking about a daily candle chart, though. But if you zoom this out to the 1 week, you can still see that even stair step up, that consolidation, stairs up, and consolidation. You go to the 1 month, that's nothing but pure bullish. Yes, we opened on a red candle, but we will not close on a red candle. I guarantee you this will turn green. So do not be fearful of the charts right now. Do not get shaken out of your position. The last thing you want to have happen is get fearful and listen to somebody who's telling you the world is falling around you, and you lose out. You sell out your position, and then you're stumbling back in on a green candle, trying to regain that position, and you're going to pay way more than what you did to get it originally. Ryan says, I would say the only bad thing is the daily fib retracement well below the 0.5. Yep. And he's got a valid point with that. I still don't think we're going to gain a zero. I think that's all going to get shaken out. And I think that chart is ready. It's primed to boom. I mean, you can't have a differential like we have right now between these two charts and it remain. BNB 1446, very, very healthy. ETH 1161. That big of a differential between the two charts is just simply not going to. It's not going to stay. The arbitrage opportunity is there. The opportunity for you to, if you wanted to, sell your BNB, convert to ETH, buy on the ETH side. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but hey, there's people that are going to try to take advantage of this chart however they can. I'm simply saying gaining a zero, I don't see it happening. And I know a lot of people in the community are feeling the exact same way. Shadow Queen has said she's buying more tonight. And I promise you that if this chart was to dip, it would get eaten up within seconds. So outside of that, a couple things that I wanted to mention here. There was an announcement in Shido chat, so I'm comfortable talking about this. I believe it was Bacco that broke it. The KYB for the Shido MasterCard is now complete. I would expect to hear some extremely bullish information on the Shido MasterCards in the Thursday AMA. The only reason why I'm talking about it tonight, I've known about it for a couple days from Bjorn, but promised I wouldn't say anything. But I saw it broke in chat tonight, and so it being broken chat gives me the okay to talk about it. So for you guys that are super excited about the Shido MasterCard, KYB is done. Everything is green lit, and we are good to go. Now it's just a matter of when Bjorn and the dev team choose to roll it out. Integration will come to the Shido wallet. It's probably going to come I would assume if it's ready, then it'll probably come in the 2.0 update. I doubt it'll be in the 1.5. I would assume it's probably going to be in the 2.0. So look for that. The 2.0 has a complete rebuild of the Shido wallet, by the way, which is going to be super bullish. It's going to look freaking awesome when it's all said and done. A lot of vast improvements, including cross-chain integration that is coming to the Shido wallet. I know that has been delayed for some time. It is coming. So for those of you that have questioned or asked where that is, should be there in a couple updates. So why am I showing this here? Again, if you have not taken the time to go to Shido.io, go to products, go down here to the Shido MasterCard, and if you haven't scrolled down here to the very bottom and submitted your email to get on the list to immediately get approval for your card, you need to do so today. Take a moment while you're watching this AMA, navigate yourself to the website, get your email in there, and get registered for your Shido card. So something that you're going to want to do and hop onto ASAP. Outside of that, keep in mind, Shido Dex is now live. You can go in here. You can trade any coin that you want on BEP20 and ERC20 by simply inputting the contract address, and you are good to go. I did a trade for Ethereum to Shido. I had 0 issues. Set my slippage. I went up here. I had my gas price. I set it to market. I made sure everything else looked good, left everything where it was at, made my transaction quick and easy. I had 0 issues. The chart is working wonderfully. If you want to go in here, you can compare, which is really cool with this. If you are doing perpetuals or anything and you want to know anything about key stocks, futures, forex, CFDs, crypto, indices, bonds, and economy in general, there is a tab for each of those in the charting, and they all do work. For instance, I was on BTC, and you can see here that it is pulling the live current trading of BTC. Everything is working. If you don't want to deal with the chart, you can go to simple mode, and it does just look like a standard swap. However, I think most traders are going to appreciate classic mode, otherwise known as advanced mode. With that, know that limit orders and P2P are rolling out here soon. Yes, limit orders were supposed to come with the launch of the DEX. That did get rolled back. These are coming. They are in the works. They are being worked on as we speak. So you will have limit orders and peer-to-peer trading. Those are coming soon. Perpetual is up and fully running, as we know. It does have a new redirect, perp.shido.io. It is working flawlessly as well. So if you do want to do some perpetual trading, you can do so. Guys, I'm going to encourage everybody, please use our DEX. If you are making any trades, yes, Shadow Queen, sorry, I have a water cup in the way here. Let me get that out of the way. There we go. Limit orders and peer-to-peer is almost done. But if you guys are doing any trading whatsoever, please make sure you are doing it on the Shido DEX. The reason for that is the 30% transaction burn. The more transactions we have on the Shido DEX, the more revenue we have to burn. We need the entire community to be trading on the DEX, and we need to get it out on Twitter, and we need to get it out to everybody that is doing trading, especially when limit orders and peer-to-peer come online. There is absolutely no reason why we don't have this chart out here for the world to see. So go here, boom, there's Shido. So, like I said, you can look up any coin you want. You can see what's happening on any token out there. You've got all your charting, you got all your tools, you got everything to your disposal that you need to chart this and understand exactly what is going on before you make a buy. Also, keep in mind that the aggregator protocols we have in here for pricing is guaranteeing you the best price on the market. That is scanning all of the top decentralized exchanges and bringing you real-time data on the best price. There is no reason to go to Uniswap, PancakeSwap, SushiSwap, or the thousands of other swaps that are in existence. 1inch, Kyber. There's no reason to go to any of those, right? Because you're getting the guaranteed best price right here on the Shido DEX. So, guys, do me a favor. If you're making any trades, do them on the Shido DEX. It is working perfectly fine. It is perfectly secure. Everything is good to go. I've had 0 issues. Shido Queen has had 0 issues. And almost everybody in the community has equally had 0 issues and just talked about how great their experience was. With that being said, I want to move into FOMC. Now, we're going to watch a couple of videos tonight. And the first video is from Yahoo Finance, talking about Fed rate hikes and expectations. Now, before I play the video, I will let you guys know the expectation for the market right now is a 0.25 interest rate hike. So instead of a 50 BPS, we're looking at a 25-point basis hike. The reason for that is a monetary pause to evaluate the markets and inflation and to see if the Federal Reserve needs to go full bore, full steam ahead, or if they need to back off. Hold on a second. Ryan says, my big question is, when is the CB wallet going to be integrated to our products? The Coinbase wallet, are you talking about like Wallet Connects? Ryan, DM me in Telegram if you would, with more detail on your question, so I can get a better answer for you. Because my recommendation for anybody is get rid of your current wallet and strictly use the Shido wallet. Now, to do that, don't just go deleting your wallet. Hear me clearly. Make sure your seed phrase is written down. You know your secret phrase. Make damn sure it's correct. Triple check it, quadruple check it, verify it. Please do not delete your wallet until you know that's correct. Then delete your Coinbase wallet completely off your Android or iPhone. Download the Shido wallet. Use Memnomics. So when you create a new wallet, you'll say restore from an existing wallet. You'll type in your seed phrase, just like you would Coinbase, Trust Wallet, MetaMask, or any other wallet out there, and it will restore that wallet inside Shido. Because remember, all the Shido wallet is doing is mirroring the blockchain, right? So it's going to mirror your blockchain and show all your tokens in the Shido wallet. At that point, you don't have to worry about the Coinbase wallet anymore. Equally, I wouldn't use a wallet from a centralized exchange, because understand, if that centralized exchange has problems, your crypto can technically become their crypto. There is very fine print. I know Coinbase came under a lot of fire for that. There was a lot of fine print stating that if they had a bankruptcy, they could seize your assets if they're in their wallet being the Coinbase wallet. I don't know all the ins and outs of that, but I know that was a huge firestorm, and a lot of people immediately moved off Coinbase wallet, myself included, because I started with Coinbase wallet. I have all my stuff in a ledger, in a cold wallet, but I do have my Shido wallet as my hot wallet to transfer, buy, and sell with. So, I've done mine a little differently, but if you don't do a ledger, I would recommend getting out of Coinbase and getting into the Shido wallet. Ensure you have the two-factor authentication, and you'll be good to go. But if you have any questions, feel free to DM me. I'll help walk you through the process. So will Shadow Queen. It's very straightforward. Magic Crew says, I'm excited for the new version 2.0 or the Shido wallet. Yes, absolutely, because it's going to have cross-chain integration. It's going to have, my assumption is, the MasterCard with your Barclays bank account. It's going to have a lot of impressive stuff. So 2.0 is going to be a huge moment for the Shido wallet. I am assuming it's also going to have the beginnings of the integrations for both the DEX and the Perpetual platform, potentially even our staking platform, as we know that eventually we will have our own staking pools. So there's a lot of questions to what's coming, but there's no doubt it's going to be an amazing update. Snap English says he or she is bullish on the ETH Shadow chart. I would be too, 100%. Shadow Queen, just put your seed phrase in and it will mirror Coinbase. Yes, exactly. Yes, no fees when you mirror, so you will not pay any fees whatsoever. Shrovka says, Brother, I think we need to place Shadow Dex as the main place to buy Shadow from our website app, but ASAP. Yes, I agree. We have Pancake Swap and Student Swap instead of our Turbo Dex. Yes. No, I've already brought this to the dev team's attention, and we are updating the /buy in Telegram to ensure that the first thing it lists is the Shadow Dex, and to also get the Shadow Dex on the wallet. I don't want to discourage somebody. If they are only comfortable with Uniswap, Pancake Swap, I'd rather they still buy Shido, even if it's not on our DEX. But we want to push mass adoption. We want to push the DEX, because at the end of the day, the DEX is what's going to move Shido in the direction we want it to go, because it is groundbreaking. The DEX, the Perpetual, and of course, Shido Chain are the three big aspects to this project that are really going to push mass adoption. Now, the wallet will do that as well, especially because all of these will be integrated inside of it. So, it is a revolutionary ecosystem, and in all respects, it's very groundbreaking, and there's nothing like it in the market. So, let's see here. Ryan, can Coinbase still seize funds if done this way? No. So if you completely move out of the Coinbase wallet And because see, they can't take anything off your blockchain, but if it's in the Coinbase wallet and accessible to Coinbase, there's a clause where they can do that. Now, if you completely delete the Coinbase wallet, you mirror your wallet, and you move to a new wallet, they cannot touch you. You're completely in DeFi. So you are completely good. We are what's called completely decentralized. Yes, it won't matter. It will not matter whatsoever. You're moving completely off the grid, as they put it, and you're moving completely into decentralization. It won't matter. You got to remember, I started in Coinbase too. You're completely good. As everybody should be. Yes, your tokens are on the blockchain. So we've caught up on comments. I'm going to go ahead and play this video. I want you guys to listen closely because these are the expectations for the FOMC meeting. Now I'm going to tell you, if we see a 0.25 basis increase, this market's going to run. There's going to be volatility in the morning. There's going to be uncertainty. I would tell you, if you have Ethereum, if you have anything not something like Shadow where you're holding an investment, but maybe you're holding ETH or you're holding BNB, I might peg that to BUSD or peg that to USDT in your wallet. Just keep it there until the volatility is over, and then unpeg it so that you don't lose anything. There's just that microchasm chance that the market could go bad or could go really good. As long as we get a 0.25, the market's going to run. If we get 0.50, the market's going to tank. So in a way, it's kind of a 50-50 gamble, right? So let's watch this video. Let's see what we got.
Markets anticipating the Fed's next moves, and so far they've given no hints they'll let up on the fight against inflation. Here with a summary of what to watch, Yahoo Finance's Jennifer Schonberger. Hey, Jen, a big week.
Good morning to you. That's right, a big week indeed. The Federal Reserve kicking off its first policy meeting of the year Tuesday, where it is widely expected to slow down the pace of rate hikes while looking at how much further it needs to raise rates ultimately this year after 3 months of slowing inflation. Here are 3 things to watch. Number 1, a 25 basis point rate hike. A chorus of Fed officials have signaled a quarter-point rate hike at this meeting, which would mark a further slowdown in pace from the 0.5 percentage point hike seen in December. Markets are pricing in a nearly 100% chance that this happens. That would bring the policy rate to a range of 4.5 to 4 3/4.
I want you guys to pay close attention to what this young lady just said. The markets are pricing in a 100% chance that a 0.25 basis hike is what's going to happen. That's why I'm telling you that the markets are going to run. There's going to be insane volatility tomorrow morning. If Jerome Powell comes out and announces 0.25, everything is going green. Everything, including crypto.
Marking the highest levels since October 2007. The Fed wants to slow down the pace of rate hikes to assess the impact on the economy so far and see how much higher they need to raise the policy rate to continue bringing down inflation. Number 2, how much further will the policy rate rise, and when could the Fed pause? Read the Fed's statement closely and see whether they leave in language that, quote, ongoing increases in rates, emphasis on plural there, will be required. Also, listen to comments from Fed Chair Powell during the press conference, since there won't be any new interest rate projections this meeting. Most Fed officials estimated in December that the policy rate would need to rise to a peak between 5 and 5 1/4, implying about 2 more quarter-point increases. Number 3, what does Fed Chair Powell say about financial conditions? The Fed has said any easing in financial conditions will make it harder for them to do their job and could require further rate hikes. If you look at the yield on the 10-year Treasury and the level on the S&P, they're about roughly where they were mid-December, perhaps a hair higher when the Fed met last. Some officials have talked about the potential to raise rates even after the Fed pauses if financial conditions loosen or inflation remains high. Watch to see whether Fed Chair Powell will say the same thing. Now, Rochelle, I just want to point out one other major data point that Fed officials are closely watching tomorrow morning is the employment cost index. This is important because it is an indicator of wage growth, which they believe is feeding into inflation. Now, depending on where that number comes in, it probably won't change the calculus for a 25 basis point rate hike, but could have implications for how they see things going forward.
All right. So as you guys heard her say, it's most likely not going to cause any issues, and they firmly believe that a 0.25 basis rate hike is what is priced in. Now, I want to share, before we move on here, not that one yet. So I want to share this chart with everybody. Guys, on Twitter, I need all of you to make a tweet on this. Get this out, please. So this is super, super important. Now, this is comparing not only, first thing I want to show attention here is the fully diluted market cap, okay? So as it stands right now, Shido is a fully diluted market cap of 13 million. Our competitors in the DEX market, Uniswap is 6.44 billion. PancakeSwap is 2.97 billion, and DYDX is 2.48 billion. Now, I want to draw attention here. Peer-to-peer trading. The only one that allows that outside of Shido is DYDX. Okay? Limit and stop loss. Uniswap does not do limit stop loss. Pancake and DYDX does. Perpetuals. Pancake and DYDX. Uniswap does not. Liquidity aggregators. The only one that doesn't is DYDX. That is what's guaranteeing you the absolute best price. Now, cool, Uniswap and PancakeSwap both use that. Now, here's where we kill them, though. Cross-chain integration. The only decentralized exchange that is cross-chain at this time will be Shido when it goes live. Uniswap doesn't have it, PancakeSwap doesn't have it, and DYDX does not have it. We're at a $13 million fully diluted market cap, and we check every single one of these. Every X in the box is checked, right? Cross-chain, liquidity aggregator, perpetual, limit stop loss, peer-to-peer. Guys, get this out on Twitter. I want to see everybody making tweets and getting this out there, because this is what's going to attract users to our decentralized exchange, is knowledge of what this exchange will do for them, right? You know, it's great to say the techie jargon. It's great to try to sound impressive. Let's stop that and let's just show them the facts, right? Just like we did the Shido wallet. When the Shido wallet first came out, all we did was break down the facts. Trust Wallet doesn't have this. MetaMask doesn't have this. Shido wallet has all of this, right? So guys, do me a favor. Get that out there to everybody. Going back to Yahoo, what are the markets expecting from this FOMC meeting? Stock prices can show the market expectations of future interest rates. Let's see, the S&P traded up 2.5% in the week before the January-February FOMC meeting. The market is expecting an increase of 25 basis points, or 0.25. Basically, the entire market is priced in 0.25. So, like I was saying, pretty much, if we come in at 0.25, we're going to run. We're absolutely going to run. So this is leading into what we're going to talk about next. We're going to get into why this is so important, why this plays into Bitcoin, and what we can potentially expect to see with Bitcoin. Yeah, Monty, that's because I have a 43-inch widescreen monitor, and you're seeing just a small snippet of that. So I do apologize. I have to zoom in for you guys. So there you go, buddy. So 0.25% is what the entire market is expecting. There is, and this is where I talked about, this is that 50-50, right? There is a possibility the Fed could increase rates by 50 basis points, as it did after the last FOMC meeting. But a hike of 50 basis points seems extremely unlikely. Let's see. They say we have seen some progress in terms of inflation coming down. So the thinking is that the Fed might now start to ease off its interest rate hikes. Again, that's super bullish for us in crypto and in stocks, right? Stocks rally, crypto rallies, risky assets look a lot more palatable. And at that point, we start to see a lot more people dipping their toes back in this market. And that is being reflected by this $1.5 trillion market cap that we're currently seeing. Let's see. If markets are expecting a 25 basis point hike and it turns out to be a 50 basis point hike, that would be somewhat of a surprise. And that's where I'm saying we could see the market take a U-turn. If Jerome Powell comes out and Paul Volckers us or rug pulls us, basically, yes, the markets are going to go to very, very traumatic, and we're going to see turmoil in the streets. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to see a 0.25 basis hike. Is there anything else in here that I really care to share with you guys? No, pretty much just kind of the run-of-the-mill article on what to expect if that happens. The one thing I do want everyone to see and be very clear on, this is the Crypto Fear and Greed Index. If you were a stock or indice trader, then you're also very familiar with this. If you guys look here, last month on the 27th, we were fear. The month before that, we were extreme fear. Right now, 56% swing to greed. 51% yesterday was neutral. So we went from neutral to greed. The week prior was neutral. The next update for the Fear and Greed Index is going to be in 20 hours, 22 minutes, and 22 seconds. Basically around the point the FOMC is going to do their reading. Actually be a little bit after. But that's good because that'll be an indicator of how the markets are feeling. But right now, guys, in the crypto market, we're seeing greed. Where we want this to go is down here to extreme greed. We get back down here to extreme greed, that's where BTC is going to take off. Ethereum, Binance, and every altcoin is going to follow. So that's what we're looking for here, is this indicator to stay in greed and to continue moving down this direction. Let's see here. Catch back up. Ryan says, so important notes are that they are also offer liquidity pools, which we do not get. Yes. Yes, that is an important note to keep. Let's see. F5 Shadow Baby. Love this project. Understand what Bjorn is building. Absolutely. Hey, what's up? Sit back and chillax. Welcome, my man. Glad to see you on the stream. But yeah, keep in mind, guys, Fear and Greed Index is looking good. And that is going to lead me into the conversation that we have tonight with Bitcoin. Now, let's go back real quick before I play a couple more videos for you. Okay, guys, right now, let's get that a little bit bigger for everybody. Bitcoin is trading $23,095, okay? So we're holding the 23,000 line. Now, what was important with this is that it remains holding this line. The reason for that is we have what's called a potential golden cross. Now, the golden cross is when we go from bearish to bullish, right? So when the green passes over the red being bearish, the green being bullish, right? I'm going to play a couple of videos and explain this for you. But basically, for the last year and a half, we haven't peaked our head above the red, right? We've stayed underneath the red the entire time. It's been, the bears have been in complete control. That is changing. February 7th, if this price holds at the 22 to 23,000 level, February 7th, we have that cross. We come above the red for the first time since the beginning of this bear market. That will signal at that point the end of the bear run, the beginning of the bull run. Very, very important, guys. That is an indicator that we're all waiting for. That is all I want for Q1 of 2023. That's it. I want to see the golden cross. If we see the golden cross, the recovery is officially on. It is not a bear trap. It is not a fake out. It is a recovery, and it will lead into the bull run. So we're going to play some videos on that, give you guys a better understanding. Before I do that, Ryan says monthly BTC stochastic momentum turned white, which signifies a trend reversal in the crypto market. We might see a pullback if you like. if like you said, Powell rugs us. Yeah, exactly. And we're going to talk about that. You're right. The stochastic is showing white. It's doing exactly what we need it to do. Now, there is a chance that Bitcoin is going to retest our bottom and then move straight up from there. That is an opportunity. Bitcoin likes to surprise everybody. It likes to go against the grain. It likes to do what we don't think it's going to do. There is a potential scenario in these two videos you're going to watch, and this gentleman breaks us down way better than I ever could. There's a potential here for Bitcoin to retest 16.5. If it retests 16.5 and the bottom holds, which I firmly believe that is our market bottom, that's it. We're moving up from there. So let's watch a couple of videos. It'll explain this in a little bit more detail for you, and hopefully you guys get a better understanding of what I'm talking about tonight. Yes, exactly. It's that 4-year cycle, man. So let's get into it. So this gentleman here, first and foremost, Crypto Career University. I've followed this guy for years, and no bullshit, just the facts. Probably one of the best chart readers I've seen in crypto. He's always on the other side of the fence. You know, he called the monumental market drop when everyone thought we were going to go to 100,000. He called for an absolute crash. We've been living that absolute crash for the last year and a half. Steve is very clear. He's very precise. And I trust his readings more than I would anyone else out there. So we're going to watch a couple of his videos, and I'm going to give you guys just the information of what I'm talking about, what he's seeing, and what we think is going to happen to the charts. So hang on 1 second here. Let's get after it.
Let's get to these charts. This is really, really fascinating stuff. Down here, I want to draw your attention to this yellow circle that happened here in 2015, this yellow circle that happened in 2019, and this yellow circle that we're in today. This is the Traders Dynamic Index. Okay, the Traders Dynamic Index, you can find it by going to your indicators and typing it in. And basically what it is it combines the RSI, like overbought, oversold, with volatility bands, you know, like the Bollinger Bands. And it combines these two indicators as well as some other things to make the picture very clear of what's happening. We could spend an hour talking about them, but I want to keep it really, really simple today, right? We can all see that there's a red line, right? You can all see this red line, right? If you follow this red line, this is the most important line we're going to talk about today. The other one is the green. So if you can see this green line and you can see this red line, how they interact with each other tells a very distinct story. For example, when this red line holds support on this green line, the bear market was over in 2015 when this red line actually held support in this green line. And it's not like every other day they're holding support and resistance and moving back and forth. No, during a bear market, it's very distinct. The red line plummets, the green line also plummets, but not at the same speed. And as soon as this red line regains its power above this green line, the bear market was officially over and it was time to start the bull run. Now,
I want to correct myself. I had my lines backwards. I told you guys green. It's the red rising above the green, as Steve is talking about here. So I do apologize. I had my lines mixed up, but let's continue on with the Golden Cross.
Now, if we fast forward to 2018, right, we had that 20K top, we had the long extended bear market. You can see what happened with the green and the red line, huge gap. And then we started getting a little bit closer. And right here at about April 1st, just a slightly before April 1st, we crossed through and officially the bear market was over as of April 1st. Now, why is that important, right? Why is that important? The past two bear markets, this was the distinct signal, and we have our head above the green line right now. The issue is we haven't closed this month, right? So what I'm showing you here is not official. It's what's happening live. It's what's happening right now, but we have to wait to the close. We have to wait to the end of the month to see what's happening here. But make no mistake, we have two clear data points on the chart, both of which happened at the bear market, both of which say the same exact thing. As soon as this red line holds the green line as support, the bear market is officially over. So I tell you this because markets like to surprise everybody. Markets always surprise everybody. You can pick any time in the history of markets and put your finger on what the pulse of the community was at that point, the market will always do the opposite time and time again. All right. Now, I want to show you the next one. This indicator here is, well, we're going to look at two of them. We have the CM Ultimate RSI MTF here. Each time we posted one of these nice green bars, that was the most beautiful time to buy. This market gave us two most beautiful time to buy. And one thing is the SNAB RSI EMA down here at the bottom that you can find on your indicators. Simply put, when this green line crosses above the red line, also the bear market is officially over. And it said so that it was over here. And also in 2018, it said that it was over here. You can see it on the chart, and we are getting close, right? This is a little bit of a nicer view. Sometimes we rally up to this red line, have a little bit of rejection, and then bounce through. Sometimes we just barrel through it. Like in 2018, there was just so much bullishness coming into the market at that time, and it just wasn't sustainable. But you can see we're rallying up to it as we speak. So these are things to pay attention to. Another little tip with the CM Ultimate RSI MTF, when we stop having this green color, that's when these buy signals are finished, and it's time to really focus on the start of the next run. Okay. And we're still in green now. We need to see what happens at the end of the month if we stop being green, and we need to see at the end of the month what's happening here. But Bitcoin is going to make you lose all your money. It always does, time and time again. You come to this channel because I talk facts and I talk about the market through a very, very different lens than what you're expecting, right? It's not the herd talk here. It's not what everybody is saying. I give you actual evidence to support what I'm saying, and we talk about just the facts, right? Now, the next chart is a beautiful one. This is one of my favorite charts of all time for Bitcoin, and it helped us call the mega crash at 48K. It helped us call a fake rally before the mega crash. It helped us call the moves of the 2018 bear market, including the bottom and including when the bear market was over. We use this chart right here that's in front of you. And simply put, this is the stochastic RSI on the monthly. When the stochastic RSI on the monthly gets above this 20 level, the bear market is finished and the bull market has started. You can look no further than 2015. When you cross down here, this is when our momentum is almost dead. Picture like a rocket ship that's trying to go, and it moves that pivot point of starting to go down. When it starts going down, our momentum is gone. And that's what happens the entire bear market. The momentum is gone. And when momentum starts coming back in, that is a momentum shift. That's when the bull run starts, right? And a bull run started here, bull run started here. And we're not yet close. We still have a ways to go. But what we can say is at the end of the month, we're going to get a lot of information because our pivot point high with the blue line was way back in March of 2022, way back in March of 2022. And if we close the way we are now in 2023, this is major news. This is a major turning point. There's no denying what's happening in the charts. There's a lot of information that says, 2023 is going to be devastating. It's going to be the worst downfall in the history of mankind, similar to the 1929 crash, things of that nature. There's a lot of all the world's experts in all the major countries and the World Economic Forums, etc. But I just like to go based on the facts. And Bitcoin is telling a different story. Bitcoin is telling a story of it's trying like hell to end this bear market. And it's getting closer, right? We've been following this the whole way, month after month. And again, case in point, with the fear and greed index for the first time in years, making a higher high, showing a momentum shift. Okay. So also our momentum on the 2 week, it's wide open. And we showed you on the ADX and DI on the 3-day, we haven't had this amount of bullishness come in literally since our last bull run right over here, right? The facts are in front of us. whether we like to believe them or not, Bitcoin is getting close to ending the bear market. It has not ended it, and it still has a ways to go, but it's getting closer to ending it than starting it. And for you to think that Bitcoin will be in a bear market the entire year of 2023, it's just not realistic at the moment. The way that the facts are now, for Bitcoin to be in a bear market of 2023, something drastic would have to happen, and something that's never ever happened in the history of Bitcoin. Plain and simple. Bitcoin is showing that it's turned a corner and it's on the last legs of the bear market. Okay. So Bitcoin will make you lose all your money like it always does. Also, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the video. This is something cool I wanted to share with you. This is a major life tip that will impact your life. This win, share that with you. Okay, let me follow up with these charts and let's make sense of it. Bitcoin historically shocks the high majority of people. If you are believing what the high majority of people believe, you're going to get shocked along with all of them. And this happens time and time again. So if you believe that Bitcoin is going to have a really, really bad year, 2023 is just going to be horrendous and we're going to drop further in prices and we're going to have the whole year down, which is what everyone believes, you're going to get surprised. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. The charts have spoken. The evidence is not saying the bull run has started. Let's make that really clear, because somebody's going to watch this and they're going to have like one eye closed and the other ear is going to be closed and they're going to be like, oh my God, Steve said the bull run started. No, Steve did not say that. Let's be honest. The bull run has not started. Bitcoin is showing it's clearly turned a corner and it's on the last legs of the bear market. The bull run has not started, but it's getting close. And I really believe 2023 is going to be the start of the bull run for Bitcoin. And I think it's going to shock everybody. So what should you do now? If you haven't invested yet in Bitcoin, and there's two scenarios. Either you're in Bitcoin to make fast money, you're wanting to make fast money and do something for your family. More than likely, you're going to get burned no matter what you do. That's just the wrong mindset. You shouldn't be in crypto. You really shouldn't. If you're in crypto for at least 5 years, you can close your eyes during this bear market and buy at any time, and you will look like a superhero. That's just the facts. Don't go with the herd. Okay. Now, let me get to the biggest lesson I learned that I think is going to really, really help you. But make no mistake, we're going to give follow-ups at the end of the month with all of these beautiful charts. But let me tell you this lesson that I learned from Jack Dorsey, who learned it from Winhoff, that really impacted my life. And I think about it all the time, and I wanted to share it with you. A little over 2 years ago, I stepped on the scale and I couldn't believe the number that the scale said. I had never been that heavy in my whole life. In fact, I've always been just a tall, skinny dude forever. And when I stepped on the scale 2 years ago, I was like, wow, this is what everyone was warning me about. They kept warning me, hey, when you get into your 30s, it's going to catch up to you. Your metabolism's going to catch up to you. And I'm like, yeah, whatever the hell they say. I don't care what they say. And, I reached 30 and I was still a skinny dude. And, I was like, yeah, screw those guys. They were wrong again. And then, 2 years ago, what was I, 36? So I'm 36 years old. And that was the moment where I stepped on the scale and I'm like, man, that's what they were talking about. I couldn't believe the number, right? So I started digging into it. I started researching it more. I didn't want to do a diet because that's what all the sheep do. And I'm just not interested in anything that they do. I really wanted to learn about how can I do this to impact my life, right? What's a life change I can make rather than some short-term diet that everybody will give up on. So I didn't want to diet. I still wanted to eat my candy bars and Skittles, and because that's what I love. Let's be honest. So I started doing more and more research, and I came across an interview with Jack Dorsey. So I'm listening to interviews and podcasts every day. I have to learn every day. It's like an addiction. This is my addiction. So I wasn't focused on like, how do I lose weight? How do I make a lifestyle change? I was focused on, let me learn something from Jack Dorsey. And he was talking about all of these different things in life that have really helped him. And he talked about this one thing in particular that really changed his life. And he talked about eating one meal a day. And that really caught me off guard because you don't really hear humans talking about eating one meal a day. And he really stood by it. Like, this completely changed my life. And he learned that from Winhoff, who you may know or you may not know. You can Google him. So I was like, all right, let me try it. I started this one meal a day thing where I just eat dinner. And it was so easy. You're probably thinking like, oh my God, were you hungry all day? No, because
I'm not going to continue with that. I thought he was making a point with crypto, but doesn't look like he's going to there. So that's the first video that I wanted to share with you. Now we are going to watch one more from Crypto University, and this one is talking about the Gaussian channel. We have entered the Gaussian channel for the first time since 2018. This is a huge moment for crypto, and I want you guys to understand why. Now, I saw a couple comments that I wanted to touch before I play that. Ryan, you are technically correct. 2 is technically not a trend. However, there is 3. There was the 2015 indicator, did exactly like he shows here. The 2018 indicator exactly acted the way the 2015 did. And then the 2020 indicator after the COVID crash, leading into what was the fake out rally where we went to 69,000, and then we had the crash that we're currently in. So there have been 3 indicators, and all 3 indicators have shown the exact same measured move. Once we came above the red, or I'm sorry, we came above the green, and we made that cross, that was signaling the end of the bear run and the beginning of the bull run. So the facts are there. The indices of the charts don't lie, but you are correct. You got to at least have 3 to confirm a trend. We have had 3. So, which is why I trust his charting more than I do most people, and why I'm sharing it with you guys tonight on the channel. Yeah, Sitbacks. I wasn't expecting him to go into his diet routine. That was a little new for me. I didn't watch that last part of the video, so I apologize. You guys had to bear with me through that too. Let's go ahead and move on to video number 2. I'm going to mute myself real quick.
In today's video, we've got a lot going on. I'm going to cover the legendary Gaussian channel, the one that everyone has been craving. And also we're going to talk about the latest with this chart right here, major developments happening on the daily here. And then we're going to follow it up with what could be coming right around the corner. Before we get too far into it, if you guys like charts and you like facts in the charts, and you like charts that really go against the grain and provide a lot of value and knowledge, go follow us on the Twitters right now. Crypto Crew U over on the Twitters. Pause this video, Crypto Crew U on the Twitters. Now,
of course, we get an ad.
Gaussian channel. What we see right now is something that we haven't done since 2018. Obviously, when we changed colors from green to red, this was one of the major signals that we called out right here on our channel, because the Gaussian channel has a lot of tricks up its sleeve. The Gaussian channel can give us a lot of clues as to what's coming before the market takes place. For example, a little over a year and a half ago, right here on this channel, we entered the Gaussian channel, and it was May 2021. And we said right here on this channel, when you enter the Gaussian channel, it acts as quicksand, and it's likely we're going to be in there for about a year. Here we are a year and a half later, we're still knee deep in the Gaussian channel. And we didn't just flip a coin and try to decide what to do. Anytime we've entered the Gaussian channel in Bitcoin's entire history, it spends about a year inside of quicksand. And that was the start of the bear market, right? Same thing happened in 2014. Same thing happened even way back in 2011. The Gaussian channel has a lot of tricks up its sleeve. And then we changed from green to red, and we got rejection from the median line. We did the same thing in 2018. We changed from green to red, rejection from the median line, mega crash. And 2014, we changed from green to red, rejection from the median line. It was a mega crash. So right here on this channel at 48K, that's when we called for the mega crash to start. You can see the mega crash continued. And now we've just re-entered the Gaussian channel. We haven't seen this action literally since 2018. And we also had similar action in 2014. So what does it mean? What does this mean for Bitcoin? Because this is a big clue, right? This is a major clue. Also, a little bit later in the video, I'm going to give one of the biggest tips that helped me really succeed. I'm going to give that at the end of the video, so stay tuned for that. But re-entering the Gaussian channel, this is major, right? You can see what happened in 2018 after we had that mega crash, right? Change from green to red, rejection from the median line, mega crash. We spent some time down there consolidating, building our base, and then we broke up here. And you can see in 2014, it was a little bit of a different story, but there are some clues. Let me know if you can see them now. You can see that that's when the mega crash started to happen. We started to build a beautiful base as a textbook base, double bottom. We re-entered the Gaussian channel, and we had a final flush out to retest our base that we've been building for so long. And then the bull run continued, right? The bull run really started at that point. So I want to discuss what I think is happening here, along with some of the clues that we can gather from the previous times. I want to jump into some other charts, and we're going to come back to revisit that and give the latest. Now, this is a major development here that we have on the weekly chart also for Bitcoin, right? We broke out of this trend line, a 2-year trend line. We were covering it here, right here on the channel for a while. This was our pressure cooker. At the same time that we were in our pressure cooker, we had bullish divergence. Bullish divergence, we had a low here and a lower low at the same time that we had a low in our indicators and a higher low in our indicators. Whenever your indicators are not coinciding with price action, it's divergence, right? This happened to be bullish divergence. And we said right here on this channel, even back in November, watch out for this weekly stochastic RSI cross. Happens about every 6 months. It's very bullish. At the same time, we had this bullish divergence. At the same time, we were in this pressure cooker. It was kind of a perfect storm for Bitcoin. And we said, don't be surprised if it rallies up here, right? And simply because in Bitcoin's entire history, this red line has played a critical role in every single bear market. Just the facts. Just the facts. It played a critical role here, a critical role here, even in the COVID crash, a critical role. And right now, it's our resistance, right? And you can see that our candles were big and they're getting smaller as we approach this major level of resistance. You do not want to see smaller candles as you approach resistance. You want to see bigger candles as you approach resistance. This is not the case. You could see week by week, it's getting smaller. That's not a good sign for Bitcoin. And we'll get into some reasons as to what's happening here in a moment, but we've got to cover some more facts. We have to get a clearer picture of what's going on. Now we're on the daily, right? We were on some higher time frames a moment ago. We just talked about previously some bullish divergence that formed over 6 months. Now we're going to talk about some bearish divergence that's forming over the last 2 weeks, right? You can see here, price action made a high, and then it made a higher high, while our indicators made a high and a lower high and another lower high, right? This is not good for the short term. This is not a 6-month bearish divergence. This is like a 2-week bearish divergence, okay? And you can see our indicator, even the stochastic RSI, a high, a lower high, a lower high. You can see what's happening here over the past couple of weeks. We've had some bullishness come into the market, and we're showing signs of some sort of short-term reversal. Now, what could that reversal look like? I want to explain it with this chart, and then we'll get back to the legendary Gaussian channel, and we'll do some follow-ups there with my actual take on what's happening. 2015 over here, 2022 over here. In 2015, you can see this yellow line, and there's a red line. When this yellow line crossed through the red line, there was 1, 2, 3 rejections of this yellow line over a long period of time, 3 rejections of this yellow line, and then a final breakthrough. It wasn't a small breakthrough. It was like an explosion breakthrough. A big bullishness came into the market, and it was the first time that we were above this yellow line since way back here, right? So in a long period of time, we held resistance from this yellow line, and when we broke through, it was like a huge explosion. 2022, we're seeing the same action, right? This yellow line crossed through this red line. And once it did, we had 1, 2, 3 rejections from this yellow line. And then we broke through. We didn't just pop our head through, we exploded through, right? A very similar action to what we saw here. Now, what followed was that beautiful base that we had been building month after month after month. It came down to retest that base. This could be in the cards for Bitcoin. Do not be surprised if this happens, and don't be too emotional if it does happen. If it did, this would flush out all the weak hands. This would be a perfect move for Bitcoin because it would take everybody by surprise. And if it did come down to retest its base, everybody would be incredibly bearish, more bearish than you can ever believe. the people are bearish now. Imagine what would happen if Bitcoin actually retested its base. It would be a perfect move for Bitcoin. This is not out of the cards. This is definitely a possibility. More to come on that in a moment. Let's revisit the Gaussian channel, right? The legendary Gaussian channel gives us so many clues. What we know for a fact is that Bitcoin just re-entered the Gaussian channel. That's a fact. Nobody can deny it. And again, we're on the 5-day Gaussian channel, which is the one that's helped us predict a lot of moves well in advance, including the quicksand entering it 1.5 years ago, the 48 mega crash. We just re-entered. So what does it mean, right? What we have to do is look left. When you look left at our previous bear market, 2018, textbook bear market, when we re-entered, there was so much bullishness in Bitcoin back here that prices continue to explode. Now, what we do know, based on a lot of facts in the charts, is that Bitcoin has never resembled the 2018 bear market this entire time, from start to finish. It just hasn't lined up. The fractal patterns haven't lined up, not even close. It's a very, very different market. What we do know is that for months and months and months and months, we've been comparing this mega crash to 2015, 2014. A lot of the fractal patterns line up. Case in point, what we just showed you. This is 2015, breakthrough here, 3 rejections, and then a major breakthrough in price. First time in a very long time. You can see first breakthrough of this yellow line in a very long time, right? It really lines up to 2015. So we have to look for 2015 for clues, not necessarily for answers, but for big clues. What did we do in 2015? Well, 2015, we changed colors, rejection, mega crash, built a beautiful base. It took us a long time. We had an explosion in price up near our previous pivot highs. And that pivot high brought us finally into the Gaussian channel. And it was short-lived. We spent a couple weeks in the Gaussian channel, and then we came back down to crash and retest our base. I tell you that to show you this. Right now, today, we've built a beautiful base, and we finally have some action inside the Gaussian channel. And we've been in here for a little bit, not too long. Do not be surprised if Bitcoin comes to retest its base. That's what it did in 2015. And that would be a move that would shock everybody. That would be a move that would shake out weak hands. And that would be a move that could start our next bull run. Okay, just stating the facts, looking at the facts and being level-headed. Later in the week, there's going to be some major closes on the monthly charts. I have about 7 charts that are going to be game-changing. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right now, and I'm going to jump into the tip that really helped me. So if you didn't already, go over on the Twitter.
So we'll pause it right there. But what he's referring to is February 7th is that golden cross, right? As long as everything is on track, we are going to do exactly what he's shown in those charts. We're going to move above that line. We're going to have that intersection. That technically could be the signal of the end of the bear market. Now, I do think there is a very good chance that we do exactly what he just talked about, where we're going to go in and we're going to retest the bottom line that we made with Bitcoin. That was 16.5. That would absolutely shock a lot of people. If Bitcoin was to suddenly plummet to 16.5, people would think, oh, the bear market's here all year long, right? Test the bottom, signals the end of the bear market, bottom holds, recovery begins, leading into the bull run mid-2023. So again, I don't know with certainty that that's how this is going to play out, but the charting and everything with Bitcoin is showing it's following the fractal patterns. It's following exactly the way the 2015 bear market acted. It isn't acting like the 2018, as Steve just showed you. It's following the 2014, 2015 pattern. The patterns are undeniable. Retested 3 times, broke out. That was 2015. We retested 3 times, we broke out. 2015, it retested the bottom, the bull run began. Question mark 2022, 2023, do we retest the bottom And then is the price in, the bottom holds, and the bull run begins? That is the question that we're going to have to wait till February 7th to find out. Funny enough, February 7th is a Tuesday. February 7th, we'll be talking about the Golden Cross, whether or not it happens, right here on the channel. There's not a whole lot tonight outside of that I really wanted to get across to everybody. I'm not sure what happened with Arno. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to join us tonight. Hopefully, he will be here next week. But really, guys, the last thing I want to cover with everyone tonight is just self-education. I notice this a lot in the Telegram chat and in our community. Win this, win that, win this. I see a lot of people asking questions that have been answered in the AMAs, that have been answered on our live broadcasts, that have been answered in the white paper, that are on the website. Guys, I'm going to ask you again, please self-educate yourself. Reach out and find these learning materials. I just gave you an excellent resource with this gentleman's channel right here, Crypto Crew University. Again,
what up, world? I'm Steve.
Whoop. His intro plays automatically. There's not many people that I trust for charting advice. I do trust his knowledge. I trust, his 15 plus years in crypto and the way he charts, and his TA. His technical analysis, in my opinion, is pretty much spot on. This is a great resource for you guys. I linked it in the chat. I'll link it one more time for everybody. I would recommend that everybody that's watching tonight, you go and you subscribe to this YouTube channel. He puts out videos about once every 2 to 3 days when there's something important to cover with Bitcoin. The reason why Bitcoin is the focus, and a lot of people may or may not know this, Bitcoin holds 41% market dominance. I think it's like 41.25, something like that. Right, either way, its market is dominant, meaning that when it runs, ETH runs, BEP20 runs, and all altcoins run with it. So until Bitcoin loses market dominance, face it or not, it is the Mac Daddy. It is what everyone has to watch because it will be your indicator when the bull run kicks off. So February 7th, if the price holds where it is right now, we don't have any crazy black swan events, we don't have any crazy disruptions, we will see the Golden Cross, which should technically indicate the end of the bear market. Now, we may or may not have the Golden Cross, and then we may retest our bottom. We might retest the bottom before the Golden Cross. I don't know. There is still the opportunity that Bitcoin potentially could go back and retest its bottom. It happened in 2015. We're following more closely the 2015 bear market than any other bear market. So far it's played out very similar to 2015. I would not be surprised, as Steve has said, that it retests its bottom, which was 16.5, and then we were off to the bull run. So if you guys see that, don't panic, don't freak out, self-educate yourself, use your resources that are out there. There it is, 42.4. Okay, I was close. So 42.4% market dominance. That's pretty important. I am not even 100% sure where I find that, but you know what? Let's see if we can find it real quick together. But 42.4% market dominance. So yes, again, whether we like it or not, it is the Mac Daddy, and it is the indicator of when the bull run is going to take off. So if Bitcoin holds 23,000, 22,000 in that ballpark, and it doesn't drop from here, and it holds all the way through February 7th, we will have the Golden Cross. February 7th will be the day that we cross over, and technically should indicate the end of the bear market. Now, at that point, it's not going to mean that we're going to go to 40,000, 60,000. It's going to mean there's a recovery. It's going to show the markets that we've stabilized. You're going to see Bitcoin start to tick up. It's got to retest 25,000. There's a lot of resistance at 25,000. So we're probably going to get rejected a few times before we break out at 25,000. Then we got to move up to test 28,000. That's another key level of resistance for Bitcoin. Those two areas, we got to have a lot of momentum come in the market to break through. But what we could very well see happen if the FOMC meeting goes well tomorrow, we get a 0.25 increase, we could very well see Bitcoin test 25,000. There is a potential that Bitcoin makes a run for 25K. If there's enough bullishness in the market, the bears get wrecked, we break 25,000 and we consolidate, we could then test that next level. And if we break 25,000 and hold, the golden cross is all guaranteed at that point. So that would be absolutely amazing. If we break 25,000 and we hold that all the way to February 7th, that's the guaranteed golden cross at that point. That should signal the end of the bear market, and that should be the signal to the markets that the bull run is about to begin. I still think we're probably, I think, end of February, we get the golden cross, everything goes right. We're looking at that point of recovery, probably through March, April, and then in like May, June, I think is where we're really going to see the bull run start to kick off. That's just my honest opinion, because we've got to recover 2.8 trillion in this market before we really do the bull run. Right now, we're 1.05 trillion. So we still got a lot of money we got to recover before the true bullish sentiment, the retail investor is going to feel comfortable to dip their toes back in this market, because that's what we need to have happen. We need retail to come back in. We need to re-enter the market. We need that bullish sentiment from retail. Once that happens, everything is off to the races. I agree. We need adoption, absolutely. With or without a full adoption, we will still have that bull run. But you know, Shido is key to that adoption, and that is another beautiful part with Shido. We were not a part of the last bull cycle. We built in the bear market. We were born in the bear market. We've built into nothing but just increase our holders, increase our utilities, and fine tune our utilities. We have never experienced a bull run in Shido. So when this bull run happens, it's going to be even more insane for Shido. But during the recovery, I feel like, and if Arno was here tonight, he would tell you the same thing, we're going to have a mini bull run in that recovery phase leading into the actual bull run, because there's nobody in Shido holding a bag that's gone down by 90% after last year's bull run. That's just not a thing in Shido. Everybody, if you didn't buy the top, everybody is up. If you did buy the top, you just need to DCA during these dips, better average your investment, and be ready for the bull run. But nobody in this project is holding a bag that they're down 90% on. When the recovery happens, it's going to be very good for every Shido holder, especially timing the release of all of our fine-tuned utilities, especially our blockchain. When Shido Chain drops, because you got to remember, alpha test to Shido Chain is in February. Once alpha test is out, we'll get more details on. I don't know the next phase of testing. I think it's beta testing, and then we move to mainnet later in 2023. No dates. We're not going to give dates. We're not going to even hypothesize on dates, because dates just cause problems. This is tech, this is utilities, there will be setbacks, there will be delays. That's expected. However, the end result is no blockchain project has stayed at fractional. No blockchain project has ever remained fractional. So do with that as you will. Make your own estimates of where you believe Shido will go. I've told you, I think Shido is easily a $3 per coin project. Arno has made predictions of $10 plus. You got to remember 30% of all transaction fees are being burned on our DEX, which again is one more reason why you need to be utilizing our decentralized exchange over any other platform. It's absolutely crucial. The only other chart I was going to pull up for everybody here, and we had a gentleman in chat talking about it. This is the CBBI historical chart. It is basically your Bitcoin bull run index, and you guys can kind of see. Dark green is your market bottoms. Montez, rewatch some of these AMAs. Yes, I firmly believe that $3 is in the potential for Shido. You got to understand, Shido token is the governance token for the entire ecosystem, right? So the stress this token is going to have on it from governing Shido, the Shido wallet, the DEX, the Perpetual, and the blockchain is insane. And you're talking about under 100 billion in circulating supply with 30% constant transaction tax burns. The more volume we have on the DEX, the more burns we have. And mass adoption is at some point guaranteed for Shadow, in my opinion, because the DEX is just that bullish. When you have all of that at play, you know, Uniswap didn't go to the multi-millions in volume the day it launched, but it's there today. We're doing everything right. We just need to fine-tune, get the marketing out there, and get the users utilizing the DEX. That starts with us in the community, and that starts with us getting it out there word of mouth to everybody around us. Yeah, no, you're right now, Ryan. We do have 100 times the tokens as Uniswap. But again, what I'm stating is the way that the burns are set up, 100 billion is a tiny supply. You're talking most projects out there have trillions of tokens. We have 100 billion. That is a required governance for the entire ecosystem. So yes, while we have 100 billion tokens, we are aggressively burning those tokens. And then those tokens, you also have to understand, are going to be taken out to utilize projects on Shadow Chain. So I'll touch on that briefly. In order for Shadow Chain, a project, a developer, to launch their project on Shadow Chain, they're going to need SHI-20. SHI-20 is the governance token for Shadow Chain. SHI-20 will not have its own supply. There will not be a new minted token. The only way that SHI-20 will come into the ecosystem is a one-to-one conversion from BEP20 or ERC20, meaning that if it's a developer on the Ethereum blockchain, yeah, 42 cents, I'm still retired too, brother. Absolutely, man. If there is a developer on the Shido blockchain, or I'm sorry, the Ethereum blockchain that wants to move to Shadow Chain, they're going to have to buy the required tokens they will need for governance and do a one-to-one conversion across the bridge to Shadow Chain, taking the ERC20 Shadow and converting that to SHI-20. That removes it completely out of the ecosystem on the ERC20 chain. There's no return bridge. It's a one-way bridge. So if you convert from ERC20 Shadow to SHI-20, you cannot convert back to ERC20 Shadow or BEP20 Shadow. The bridge is designed for developers, right? So you got to understand that, plus the 30% fees that's being burned and everything else that's happening. It's designed to burn. So this 100 billion supply is not going to remain this way. And by nature, the more of the supply we burn, the requirement is that the price has to rise to meet the demand. So the more supply burned, the more pressure on the token, the price has to rise to meet the governance demand of the token, thus an ever-rising price floor. Thus, why we are hyper-deflationary. We're probably the only token in DeFi that burns the way we do. Everyone else promises you massive burns, but nobody, I can guarantee you, is burning 30% of all fees on every transaction 3 times a week. That is the absolute promise from Shido Global. So, I mean, it's absolutely bullish. Absolutely bullish, in my opinion. iPhone Seco says, retest, but I understand bull market is closer than we think. I'm at ease now since I stuck through the bad and the bear market. Yeah, absolutely, man. It's all easy train at this point, man. We've been through the worst of the worst. We've seen the worst of the market. If you look at this chart here again, just to briefly cover it, right? You can see right here, so 2011, 2012, this is your absolute bottom, right? Bottom was in. We started the recovery, started the bull run hit. Okay, there was your top, started to come down, crashed all the way down. There was your mega crash. There you are at the bottom of the Gaussian channel. There's your absolute bottom. This was 2015. So same thing, right? 3 tests, breakout, came back down to retest, shot back up, bull run, right? Same thing over here. Kind of similar to 2018, 2019, but you know, we match more right here with 2015 than we do with 2018. So you can see, just by looking at the charting, you can see the pattern and how it's going to play out. I would not be surprised. We don't come back down, we retest our bottom, we break back out, and we start the bull run. We'll see if I'm right. We'll see if Steve's right. But I think that's what's going to happen. I think we're going to retest. Don't get alarmed if you wake up one morning and Bitcoin's at 16.5 and everyone in the DeFi space is crying the world is falling around them. Just know that you're retesting the bottom. We've built perfect market structure. It's nothing to be worried about. We're going to retest, and then we're going to bounce, and then you're going to see the bull run. So let's see here. No, you're good, Brian. No, you're good, man. I appreciate the critical response 100% because you have to be critical, right? You have to be critical in DeFi. You have to be critical in crypto. You can't have the moon boy mentality that everything is going to make you a millionaire, right? You have to select your projects passionately, but you got to be smart about it. You got to be analytical about what you get into, right? Which is why I talk about this project every Tuesday. I read that white paper and I was in. You know, before I came here, I was in Volt. I truly believe that their swap and what they were doing was gonna be huge. And it ended up not being that way, right? And I was kind of naive. I fell into a belief when I should have really just paid more close attention to the white paper, right? So for me, it was a breath of fresh air when I found the Shido Telegram. You know, Bildo, Arno, my little community that we have, we all started talking. Everybody read the white paper, and we all said concurrently, "I'm in. Let's do this." You know, and we've been here ever since. You can't tell me that a project that is building a cutting-edge wallet has released an amazing DEX with limit orders, peer-to-peer trading, a perpetual lending platform with 200x lending positions for long and short positions in any crypto you want a long or short, and a layer one blockchain with 100 billion token supply that is governing the entire ecosystem is not going to make massive moves in this market. I just don't believe that that is a reality. I firmly believe Shido is going to melt faces in 2023, all the way through this bull cycle and into the next bear market and beyond. So, you know, we are in for a wild ride. Yeah, Shido Queen, 100%. It is a great project to be passionate about. Absolutely. No, Ryan, no, you're good, man. I don't think that anything you said tonight is FUD at all. I think you're spot on. I think you're critical, and you should be, right? That's the analytical side of us that wants to make sure that our money is safe, that our investment is safe, and that we have chosen the right one. So I don't think in any way whatsoever that you're FUDding. I think you're asking honest questions. I think you have very great critiques. And I've had a great conversation with you while we've had this live stream. So I look forward to interactions with you in the Telegram chat because you're very intelligent. And you know what? You think analytically like I do. So it's awesome to see, man. See, Dr. Farouk, Shido is my first largest holding. Well, Dr. Farouk, I think it's going to be your first major play in crypto that is going to reap some very good rewards. So it's going to be good to see. But with that, guys, we are encroaching a little bit over the hour, so we're not going to keep this one going too late tonight. I am going to go ahead and close it out. Point of thing I want everyone to watch for, February 7th, next Tuesday, our AMA. We should have some pretty bullish stuff to talk about, so keep an eye on Bitcoin. FOMC tomorrow, know that there's going to be volatility in the market. If we get 0.25, the markets are going to run. So keep an eye on that. It's going to be early in the morning. Jerome Powell's going to come out. He's going to do his thing. Everyone in the market is expecting 0.25. I don't think Jerome Powell is going to rug pull us. If he does, we'll see what happens and we'll evaluate at that time. But even if we get rug pulled, we will recover. So, guys, I will talk to everybody next Tuesday. I will see everybody in the Telegram chat tomorrow. I will be there all day. If you have questions, tag me. I will be watching the FOMC meeting and the minutes report. And as soon as I hear whether or not it's 0.25 or what it is, I will definitely be posting it in chat. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. I hope this was informative. Please go do your own research, do some due diligence. I would ask everybody, if you have any questions or reservations about Shido Global or your investment tonight, while you're laying in bed, go pull up our white paper and go read through it. Understand that V3 of the white paper is coming to include tokenomics and other aspects with Shido Chain. Naruto is working on that as we speak. I think V3 is going to be released next week, so there will be an updated white paper. But go read the current white paper. Go read what Shido Chain is going to accomplish. Go read how this entire ecosystem is governed by Shido, ERC20, and BEP20, and really just hone in. And last but not least, get on that website, get your registration in for the Shido MasterCard, get ready, get excited for tomorrow's AMA, or not tomorrow, but Thursday's AMA with Bjorn. And then later that afternoon, the AMA with Caesar's Calls, because it's going to be informative, it's going to be impactful, and I think there's going to be some information that's dropped that you guys will definitely want to hear. So I'll see you guys all next time. I'll see everyone tomorrow. Damn right, win Lambo. It's coming soon. Good night, guys. iPhone Single says thank you. Keep it up. Shido, let's fucking go. Good night to all Shido holders. No, you're good, man. All right, guys. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Take care. Thank you guys for joining tonight.